We ordered a 小小锅 small pot, but this is what we got.
Hohhot Dama or Mother He is probably one of the bigger local restaurant chains of Ordos. It bills itself as 融合菜, which is usually interpreted as fusion cuisine, but here it's more like a diverse array of cuisines that reflects the multicultural society of this part of Inner Mongolia. At the far end of the store is an open kitchen. Foods like Peking duck of Beijing and braised fish head of Qiandao Lake of Zhejiang province were on display, but so were local fares such as menmian, braised noodles. I've mentioned about how this part of Inner Mongolia borders the province of Shanxi to the south. Inevitably, there are cultural interactions. This menmian noodle dish is one of the results of such interactions. Menmian originated from Shanxi, which is dubbed China's noodles province. However, some claim that menmian came from Henan province further south. Regardless of the place of origin, braised noodles are basically made in the same fashion. Usually meats and veggies like pork and string beans are stir-fried until the vegetable exudes its own liquid. Then noodles are added, perhaps with a splash of water. After tossing the ingredients evenly, the wok is covered and the noodles are half braised and half steamed to doneness by the simmering liquid, imbibing the essences of the ingredients during this process. With the proper timing and right proportions of ingredients, an experienced chef will produce noodles that are thoroughly cooked, but neither clumped into clusters nor burnt and stuck on the wok, with almost no soup remaining because all had been absorbed by the noodles. That was pretty much our menmian, a dish with both quality and quantity.
We ordered a 小小锅 small pot, but this is what we got.
Our braised noodles had slices of pork, and instead of the standard string beans, we chose shuancai, Chinese sauerkraut. This type of pickled vegetable might have existed long ago, but was likely introduced to the Mongolians by the Manchurians sometime in those bygone eras. Shuancai was crucial back then due to the unavailability of fresh greens during the long, harsh winters. Today, shuancai is well known in northeastern China, the cradle of the Manchus, but also in many parts of Inner Mongolia. 猪肉烩酸菜, pork stewed with 酸菜, is a specialty of the neighboring city of Baotou.
So this is our first meal in Inner Mongolia without lamb. What we got here? Sauerkraut.
We had been eating lamb religiously during this trip to Inner Mongolia because sheep is the animal traditionally preferred by the Mongolian nomadic culture, as opposed to the pig, which is more suited to life in agrarian communities like those developed by the Han Chinese. This other dish also had pork, 排骨焖山药丸子, Chinese yam balls braised with ribs. This dish is mainly linked to places like Yulin just across the border in the north of Shanxi province, but it has emerged as a home cooking favorite in Ordos, again because of cultural exchanges. The ribs were odd pieces and didn't offer much in terms of meat, but did infuse some flavors into the balls of Chinese yam, which contained shredded potato too and was steamed before braising. Other than this plate of julienne vegetables and tofu skin ordered in an attempt to balance our diet a bit, we also had this dessert, 黄米凉糕, literally yellow rice cold cake, which came with a dipping sauce of sweet-scented osmanthus. The cakes were adorable tiles of millet and sticky rice held together by a mixture of things such as sugar, water, yogurt, and flour, and inlaid with dried fruits like raisin. It is a confection common in northwestern China, particularly the aforesaid province of Shanxi. Little sweet treats they were, but very filling, especially since we already crammed in tons of carbs. So we sauntered about after the meal, eventually arriving at the Ordos Bronze Cultural Square. When I filmed these clips, it was less than a week from the 100th anniversary of the CPC, hence the festive atmosphere. But the anniversary isn't a statutory holiday, so it was just another normal day for these folks out here. I know Ordos has been labeled a ghost city by some media, and I won't call that total nonsense. What we saw that night, however, wasn't a ghost city but a vibrant city. Vibrancy was what we saw again the next day, and you'll see that in my next video. 再见